I introduced myself first because I know you all know Shami. Everybody knows Shami. Everybody loves Shami. So my name is Moira Parry. I am a new member to this amazing organisation, Brain Abilitiez, and my role is Relationship and Events Manager. I've known about Brain Abilitiez for about 6 years now. I was a mum, still am a mum obviously, to my daughter who had dyslexia, and she was really struggling at school. So that was sort of how my journey first started with Brain Abilitiez. And unfortunately, you know, she was struggling at school. She couldn't focus, she couldn't concentrate. Some of the work that was given home was far too much for her, and initially, before the diagnosis, I just thought she was lazy, which is awful, really bad. And I would be saying, why is it taking you 2 hours just to write a paragraph? And it made absolutely no sense. And I used to, as a parent, I used to get really frustrated, and I think the worst thing was the fact that I was comparing my own child to all of these normal children, shall we say. How bad was I as a mum for doing that? And I have since learned that I'm not the only one that does that and did that. But that's so hard from a parent's perspective to appreciate and understand. And it wasn't until Jess's journey came here to Brain Abilitiez that it just opened up another world for her. It really did. And following her training with Brain Abilitiez, she had been told at school that she was going to walk away with no GCSEs. And I can remember this day as if it was yesterday. I remember going in through the school gates and we drove up, and I even remember saying to my daughter, look, worst case scenario, you come away with nothing. And it's okay, we'll deal with it. And, you know, I mentally, as we do as parents, I was already sort of like thinking 20, 30 steps ahead about what the next steps would be, how we could prepare her and everything. When she came out with her results, excuse me, I'm getting choked up now already, as if I'm reliving it. She'd got 6 GCSE results. I tell you, I was so proud. It was me crying all the way home in the car with joy and just thinking, well, you know, forgive me, but stuff you, school, and what you said about my daughter. My daughter achieved it, and I'm so proud of her, so proud of how much she has achieved. So I've been on that whole journey with her, and I continue to remain in contact with both Shami and Sonal. And I now have the absolute privilege, and I feel very honoured to be in a role as part of the team. So it's just so exciting, and I can't wait to see what unfolds. Just
more than overjoyed to have you on board, because as in we're a bit different that way, as in our clients often become our best friends, and we do keep in touch. You're always like, what are you up to? But
no, absolutely. And I think I started here on January the 5th, and so I've only been here a short time, and in that time listening to some of the phone calls that are coming in, or actually taking the phone calls as well, and listening to some of the people that are out there. And it's not just about young people, you know, we're talking about adults as well that really are struggling, and the help isn't there, or they're not being offered the right support. People aren't giving them the time of day, or even just something as simple as listening. Because that's one thing I have learned, is just some of the calls that I have taken, some people are just so upset, distressed, and in some instances, you know, they are so ashamed that they might have dyslexia or whatever it may be. And it's just like, you know, no, You mustn't be ashamed. And it's so sad that we're still sadly in a society where people feel that way. And I love the fact, as part of my role, is that I get to speak to these people, and if it means that we are able to help that person a million times better, that's just incredible. But if we're unable to, for whatever the circumstances may be, what I do know is that we have listened to that person and we have shared with them that they're not alone, and it is okay, and things will be okay in the end. And I think from that perspective, I think that's what makes us so unique, is that we give everything. We offer so much and more. So, as I say, it's truly a privilege. It really is.
As in you've worked with like a number of organisations, and so how would you compare like sort of the environment or the energy compared to, let's say?
I mean, I've come from, as you know, corporate organisations, and I've come from an education setting as well. Two very different settings. I think it's corporate organisations, you know, it's run completely differently. I mean, obviously they normally tend to have a lot of money, so they can throw money at everything, which can be a good thing, but then there's all the red tape. The education environment, I think, for me, what I've seen is there are so many young people out there who need help for one reason or another, and not necessarily just about, you know, retraining the brain. I'm just in general, and it just seems that there are so many systems out there that are failing, sadly, and are not helping, or for whatever reason it may be, falling through the system for one reason or another. And I know that can be sometimes down to the number of staff, or, you know, whatever the reasons may be. And for me here, when I come into work, I want to come into work. I want to be here. I want to feel, when I close the door, at the end of the day, when I leave, that I've actually helped more people today. And that feeling might sound a bit selfish, but the very fact that even if it's because I've been listening to somebody and I've helped somebody maybe make them feel good.
And just being completely solution orientated.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that's one of the things that, you know, it doesn't take an extra 5 minutes to go and find out information that they might not necessarily know how to find out, and so forth. And I think, you know, as a company, I think we can pride ourselves with our customer care and our quality of service that we actually provide. You know, it's more than 100%. I think everybody is firing on 110, 120% the whole time, which is fabulous to see. And it's not just particular individuals that are like that, it's the whole team, and everybody is sort of, shall we say, singing from the same hymn sheet. We all know what the goals are. We've all got the same vision, which I think is wonderful.
Yeah, as in, also, if it was up to me, like, I would have a camera, like, rolling 24/7 just to pick up everything, like, because of the environment. But, like, without mentioning any names or anything, like, what are a few things that you probably overheard or, like, seen that you wouldn't see anywhere else, or just things like, you know, there's so much happening like every day. So like,
yeah. I mean, I think one of the things that I've noticed, and it's with all of the brain trainers, is their care and attention to the clients. I've never seen anywhere before just the way they manage things. It's just so beautiful, and it's done to the correct level to whatever age group they may be dealing with, and it's just always spot on, and they know exactly how to manage things, and it's an absolute credit to them all. I think they're all amazing. I really do. And clearly, obviously, the training that has been provided to them has been phenomenal, because it shines through very much. It really does. I love it when, you've probably noticed now, we've got some boards that we've now put up in the sort of reception area, and we ask some of our young people if they can write on there sort of their achievements, and some of the things that they put down there are just wonderful. And you walk out, when I come in first thing in the morning, should I say, to see what had been written down the previous evening, you know, I've managed to achieve my target today, and I had a fun time today, and I love my brain trainer, or whatever. That speaks volumes about us as a business. And I think, you know, as I've already said, it's an absolute privilege to be here. So plenty more to come from us, without doubt. We've got lots of things in store ahead, which we're sort of planning in the background, and slowly but surely you will all get to hear a little bit more about that. But we're in the early stages of lots of new interesting things, which are going to be phenomenal.
Lots of exciting announcements to come,
absolutely.
Especially April, World Autism Day. You know?
Yeah, so keep your eyes and ears peeled for that. We're not going to give any more away, so you need to come back and join us and listen again very soon, where hopefully we'll start to do a little bit of drip feeding with you.
And again, I just wish there was a camera rolling all the time on, I was in.
No, absolutely, absolutely.
And like all the stuff that we see solving on the spot, like for example, different situations, all ages, all backgrounds, all abilities.
No, absolutely, and I think one of the things that I've also noticed is that some of the phone calls is that, you know, for obviously presently we are a private sort of clinic at the moment, and there are people out there who can't afford. And, you know, I know at some point we want to get ourselves into a position where we are able to help people who unfortunately are not in a position to be able to afford it.
And that's the whole aim as well, is to thrive so much that we can help those and we can reach those corners as well.
Exactly. I think one of the things I said to Sonal the other day is, because I'd taken a few phone calls of similar vein and different little background histories for those particular individuals, and I said to Sonal, we need centres everywhere, we need people everywhere, we need to help everybody. And that's how this organisation makes you feel. You just want to help so many people. You really do. And I mean, that's very much about who I am. I love helping people. So to be able to come into a job where that is part of my role is even better.
Yeah, so, and just attack, solution oriented, like also shifting a lot of mainstream paradigms as well. Because a lot of it is, you know, just mainstream, like sort of dinner conversation or coffee shop conversation, where it's like, you've met one person with this, you've met one person with that, so you only know one person. It's like, okay, that's the level of thinking, but how do we raise the bar? How do we get out of it? Solution orientated. That's what we like to implement.
Absolutely. And you know, we definitely are solution orientated here, which is brilliant. I love the fact that we can, you know, we'll pick up on a certain pattern maybe, whether it's a pattern of a certain phone calls or certain things that are coming through, and then it's like, well, what are we doing about this? How can we help? How can we make a change? And that we are thinking along those lines all of the time.
Because we know everyone is unique, but it's just, okay, when you come in, it's just, what are we going to do? Set the goal, set the target, put them in that position, should look, visualize it, and then eventually, yeah, achieve the goals.
No, absolutely, absolutely. So, but anyway, I think we'll close for today. No doubt we'll be back with, as we've said previously, more information and more things to tease you about what's yet to come. But thank you very much for your time, and thank you, Shami.
Yeah, thank you, and welcome to the team, Moira.
Thank you.
It would be nice to test my brain. That's something I've always wanted to do. I was never aware of it being available to me. Like, how can I ever test my brain? What will I know, right? Like, what will it tell me? Like, I didn't know there were things like short-term memory and then processing and then, I don't know, a skill. I just thought people were born with it.
Time to get my brain trained.
With Shami? You ready?
Go. Yeah.
9,
10. Let's start again.
6,
10.
so 10, 5, 9, 11,